Fantasy Draft, the only rake-free daily fantasy site, brings the heat again with a $200,000 guaranteed rake-free contest, the Hooters main event. This is the largest and only rake-free contest of its kind you'll find for Week 13. And remember, only on Fantasy Draft are 100% of the entry fees paid directly to winners. Sign up at FantasyDraft.com with referral code WBLZ, and you'll get a free 7-day trial membership.
Ironic Radio proudly presents Daily Fantasy Sports, Fantasy Foreplay, powered by DailyFantasyLines.com.
Play action. Minshew wide open for the touchdown.
Broncos jump. Free play for Rodgers. He knows where to go with it. For Valdez-Scantling. In the end zone. It's a Packer touchdown.
Jamal Agnew was benched a week ago. And the win over the Chargers. But back in there today, a dangerous return man is Agnew. And he's across midfield. And he might take this one all the way. He will take it all the way. Jamal Agnew, 100 yards. No penalty flags on the field.
And the flea flicker. Carr has an open receiver. And it's J.J. Nelson. And Nelson is in for the score. Mahomes looking to throw it. He will. Delivers downfield. Catch made. McCall Hardman. Goodbye. A blur. Touchdown, Kansas City. On 4th and 5. Jones steps up. Takes off. He's in. Touchdown. Prescott to the end zone. Touchdown. It's another one for Amari Cooper. Baltimore Ravens on the move. Back to the bread and butter. Slashing is Ingram. Mark Ingram, a stiff arm, and he paddles inside the pylon. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Philip Lindsay, is he stopped? No! Touchdown, Broncos!
That's picked off. They're going to come the other way. And this is Jamal Adams with a block and a pick six.
59 seconds to go. Kyle Allen over the middle. That one is complete. DJ Moore in for the touchdown. Gibson's line travels to the 47. And Harris with a little wiggle. And there he goes. Deontay Harris going to take it the distance.
I don't believe what I just saw.
DFS Fantasy Foreplay on this week 13 after crazy Turkey Day, Turkey Bowl. Hope you had your fill. Hope you got your shopping done. If you haven't, that's why there's Cyber Monday. Go out there and get that shopping done now. This show brought to you by Fantasy Draft, place where you can go with a rake-free. Rake-free, that means they're not taking your money. You get to keep all your money. They have a 200,000 Hooters main event coming this weekend, 8,000 entries, $25 entry fee. Get over there, get your lineup in. We'll be talking about that and building a lineup in the later part of this show. Joining me as always, Webboy. What's going on, man? Welcome to the program.
Oh, what up, man? Not much going on over here. Excited for this week's games.
Yeah, how was your turkey day?
Good. Full, stuffed.
Yeah, you still eating turkey?
Who isn't? Who isn't?
I know, right? All right, so interesting games on Thursday for sure, but we're not here about Thursday. We're here about this weekend, the main event, $200,000 Hooter main event
Full
coming
slate.
at you this weekend. Before we do that, why don't we get to the HotMess Express? All right, this week I have quite a few. I'll take my entire Packers, all of them. Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, my defense. I'll take them all, put them on the HotMess Express immediately. Do not pass go. Do not click $200. You look like a high school football team.
That was true.
I mean, you could also take, there's quite a few quarterbacks that we could put on this HotMess Express this week. You know, Russell Wilson, after coming off a lightning week, your bye week, and you came back flat, son. Welcome to the HotMess Express. Been a while. Matt Ryan, you got yanked in your backup. Charles Schwab had to score a touchdown, so you put more than 10 points on the board.
1 interception, 2 fumbles for him in that game.
Exactly. Tom Brady, welcome to the HotMess Express. We shouldn't blame you because of the weather, but we'll blame you anyway because we can.
2 weeks in a row.
Yep. Ryan Finley, you've been benched. The Red Rocket is starting again this week. So fire up your Tyler Boyd and everyone else this week because they probably have a great opportunity to score some points this week. Carson Wentz, you're terrible. You can't even throw a screen pass. You threw 2 screen passes 35 yards over your running back's head.
3 fumbles, 2 interceptions.
It's a terrible game. And not only that, he affected the play of everyone around him. Miles Sanders could have had a great game on those 2 screen passes. One of them would have been a touchdown. But no. You're Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
How about the Eagles front office calls Jacksonville and says, "Hey, we'll trade you Carson Wentz for Nick Foles. We want him back."
That would be interesting now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. Moving on over to running backs. Who can we put on here? Chris Carson, you had a terrible game as well. This whole Eagles-Seattle game was just downright terrible. Bo Scarborough, welcome to the league. You still did not perform the way we expected you to. 8.8 points, but then again, you play on Detroit. So that says a lot all in and of itself. Jalen Samuels, you gave up more touches to rookie and guys that nobody ever heard of out of the backfield than anyone. Welcome to the HotMess Express with 6.2 points.
Could throw Chris Carson in there too if you'd like, with 26 rushing yards.
A dynamite play there coming out of the Chris Carson camp. Who else you want to throw on there? You got any other running backs you want to throw on there?
Miles Sanders you can put in there. I don't know if it's all his fault, but didn't really have the expectations that we thought we were going to see from him in that game.
Yeah, not at all.
12 for 63. Caught 3 out of the backfield for 23, but...
Again, was overthrown by his quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Moving over to wide receivers, Jamison Crowder, your team destroyed the Raiders, and you got 2 receptions for 18 yards.
Yeah.
How is that possible when your team scored 34? Did you just not want to play that day? Is that what's going on here? I mean, talk to us. We're here for you.
He was only targeted 4 times, especially after riding a 3-game touchdown streak.
Exactly. Everything came to an end.
It's like he wasn't even involved in the game plan.
And how your slot receiver, who is your best receiver, you can't incorporate him into the game plan is beyond me. It's just absolutely beyond me. We could throw Amari Cooper in there, who had a touch, no touch, and got tripped twice, and 0 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, you gave it all up for Chris Godwin. It just appears that when it's his week, and when it's your week, it's his week. Sorry, bro. That's the way it goes.
Godwin 7 for 184.
Did you see the winning lineup? It was just ludicrous.
Yeah.
Let's go over to tight end real quick. We can throw on there someone who I was hot and heavy on last week, and that was Vance McDonald. Thank you for your 1.3 points.
1.1.
Well, hey, I was trying to be nice.
1.1.
A bunch of no names on this list for tight ends: Andrew Beck, Robert Tonyan, Ben Buckner, McCole Pruitt,
all min-salary guys, no exposure.
Dawson Knox, Jacob Hollister, Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, a little surprising. He's shown some flash here and there, but
I'm even willing to put Dallas Goedert on there. I mean, we talked about him last week too as a pivot off of Ertz, and it turns out that Ertz is the second top scoring tight end of the week, outside of everyone's favorite, Mr. George Kittle, who just set the world on fire for 6 for 129 and a touchdown. And 100-plus yard receiving yards.
Zach Ertz is your top tight end in the league.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Jared Cook coming in at third with 21.9. And then defenses, I mean, you really can't. I mean, we could say a lot about defenses, but, Atlanta 3 points, Carolina 3 points, no exposure. Bengals had 9% exposure. I think everyone punted there.
The Bears, I'm surprised with the Bears D last week. Very surprised. Thought it should have been a hell of a lot more with that. Game. They only managed to get 1 sack in that game and 1 forced fumble.
Yep.
Only gave up 14 points in that game and still only managed to put up a 4 spot.
Yep. Top scoring defense last week was the Redskins. Second top scoring defense was the Jets.
Both minimal exposure across all fantasy leagues.
Yeah, exactly. All right. With that said, let's jump into this week. This week is very interesting. You have some really dynamite matchups in play here. You have some very interesting games that people I know, like just as a fan, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking at the Niners-Ravens game. I think that could be maybe a glimpse into what a potential Super Bowl matchup could be. Both of these teams are top of their divisions. They both look good. They're both playing really electric football on both sides of the ball.
It's going to be a wet game, I think.
It's in Baltimore, so.
Yeah, I think weather may have implications in that game. Going to be a bit cold, somewhere around the 40s. But with the wind and the wind chill, it'll be closer to freezing.
I think that suits the Ravens more than it suits the Niners. And they're coming east, which always is, you hear both sides of that argument, coming east, going west, which is better for a team.
Yeah.
After that, you have also at 1 o'clock, you have the Browns Steelers. I don't know if I really like a whole lot in that game. Maybe Odell, but Steelers are playing very, very, tight, good pass and run defense. Their defense is the only thing keeping them in games right now. Buccaneers Jaguars, fire up Jameis Winston. I'll start there with the QB conversation. Jameis is a play against this week. I hate Jameis Winston. Hate is a strong word. I just have a very hard time when I play him. He does nothing. When I don't play him, he goes off. He's one of those people I love to hate. I'll leave it at that. On the other side of the ball, I also think Nick Foles could be potentially a good play at quarterback because of how terrible that secondary is. Only problem is the Jaguars are so terrible as a whole on defense. I think you're looking at garbage time points there at best for Nick Foles. After that, you got Eagles at Dolphins. Dare I say Carson Wentz is an option? I mean, is that even a consideration in your book, Webb?
No. I don't.
What did you say he did last week? 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions, overthrew everyone by 75 yards. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even like the Nick Foles play. A guy just, it's not the same coming back off injury.
I'm just saying in a GPP.
He's on, 68% completion rating in his last 2 games.
Also coming off an injury, so how much of that are you gonna put in play? Like Nick Foles
struggling to move the offense, man. 6 yards per attempt.
Terrible low line.
It's just not good. Not good.
Where is Foles?
Foles is down here at 11-2. Yeah, 11-2 for 11-2.
Yeah. I mean, below him, you got Wentz at 10-9, not going there. Derek Carr against KC, division game. I don't know if I would go there. Ryan Fitzpatrick against Miami. 10-6, that could be interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'd literally jump on that. Andy Dalton, min salary going against the Jets. That might actually be a sneaky little play coming back in, something to prove. You took me out. I had the most completions out of anyone in the NFL, and you benched me. I'm pissed off now. I'm going to come out, watch A.J. Green all of a sudden decides he wants to play again, and he's got A.J. Green and Tyler Boyd and A.J. Brown, and all of a sudden Cincinnati wins a game, and they just screw the pooch on getting their first overall pick.
Could be. I got my quarterback locked in for this week.
I have a couple. We'll get to that. Jets Bengals. We just talked about that. Sam Darnold could be a play. He looked good last week. Packers Giants. I don't know. I'm half tempted to fire up Aaron Rodgers, and you know me. I never play any of my players in DFS. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back pissed after just getting his ass beat terribly in San Francisco. I think a narrative is there for that. Redskins Panthers. I'm not going anywhere near that game. I don't think, unless I'm looking for value. CMC. What have they got him priced at? $20,000 yet? 19.7, close enough.
Yeah, 19.7. I think that's the max you're going to get out of a running back is 19.7.
Titans Colts. I kind of like me maybe a little bit of Ryan Tannehill. He's playing some really good football right now. In a dome. Rams Cardinals. Just no. Not going. No. Don't like it. No. Chargers Broncos.
Broncos are horrible.
I mean, could you go down the rabbit hole of, maybe
every quarterback in that game is min salary.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, I'm sorry. Phillip Rivers is 10-3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's value there.
Sure, if you want to give up 4 or 5 interceptions, by taking Phillip Rivers.
But interceptions don't really hurt you that bad.
No,
I mean, it's -1. That's 10 yards. It's
4 points. You threw 4 of them last week.
Well, okay, 4 points.
4 of them last week.
So it's equivalent to 1 touchdown.
Okay, so the 4 he throws last week, if he doesn't throw those, he's at 23 points versus the 19.
Well, that would have been better. That probably was the difference between cashing and not cashing for some people.
In the Oakland game, he throws 3 against Oakland. Oh, by the way, he fumbled the ball in both of those games, too. He gives up 3 and only puts up 13 against Oakland. Oakland's a shit team.
Oh, yeah. Well, which brings up the next conversation of someone that is probably going to be at the top of a lot of people's boards as QB play of the week. And that's Chiefs Raiders at home at Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes coming off of bye week, healthier, going against a defense that Sam Bradford just shredded. Need I say any more?
He needs the bye week after that Chargers game.
And last game, the Sunday night game, is Patriots-Texans. As I've said, and I proclaim all the time, I see the Patriots going 4-4 over the second half of the season. And damn you, Dak Prescott, how could you not get me 1 touchdown in the final minutes of that game just to prove my point and give them their second loss of the season? But I'm looking at you, Deshaun Watson. It's your week. Your number's up. Come on, give me a Texan win here and keep my narrative going. All right. With that said, the guys that I'm looking at this week, I like Mahomes if you're going to pay up, and we've seen week over week paying up for QB actually is beneficial. The problem therein lies finding the right value and hitting that mark at the value. I also like Aaron Rodgers at 12.9. I like Jameis Winston at 12,000, and if I'm going to pay down, the 2 places I'm going to look are Ryan Tannehill at 11.2 against Indy, and very sad to say, but it might be Carson Wentz against Miami. That's kind of where I'm looking this week. Again, it's an early look. So what about you? Where are you looking?
Well, I think I'm locking in on the pay up, and I'm surprised you didn't say it since you said it was a possible pre-Super Bowl matchup.
I'm staying away from that game.
I am taking Lamar Jackson all day long.
I could see San Francisco, Nick Bosa, breaking him.
I mean, there is that possibility.
That defense is just so nice. I watched that every single play of that Packer game, and there was not a play that someone from that defensive front, whether they rushed 3, 4, or 5, somebody was in that backfield.
44 sacks, 11 interceptions, 12 forced fumble recoveries, 4 defensive turnovers for the San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, that's some pretty astonishing numbers. I'm kind of, I'm just not there on that. I get it at 13-6. Any other week, I'd be all over Lamar Jackson. This week, I don't think so. I think that San Fran defense is so good.
I don't disagree, but it's hard to get your hands on that kid when he runs the ball.
I don't disagree with that either, but I'd rather save even $700 and take Aaron Rodgers over the Giants.
I'm going to pay the $700 to get 11 more points.
I don't know if you're going to get 11 more points. That's the narrative I'm working here.
Oh, I get it. I think Lamar's going to give you the 30 plus this week again.
Oh,
I can see that. I mean, the last 3 games for him were blowouts.
It's very interesting. The 2 quarterbacks that we're talking about, Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson, we have on our dynasty team.
Mm-hmm.
I guess who's getting benched this week?
Yeah, because you're not going to go with Lamar Jackson and you're going to run. Yeah,
I'm running Aaron Rodgers.
And you're going to lose the 6 points there.
Hey, it's a playoff team. Leave me alone. I've done very well for us this season.
I know. I've been paying attention. I haven't said much.
Even Sam Darnold. I mean, I'd rather pay the $400 up and go take Aaron Rodgers against the Giants over Sam Darnold versus Cincy. But I see the reason to go play Sam Darnold against Cincy because Cincy's just terrible and they're rolling over.
Yeah,
the real question is, can Sam Darnold replicate what he did last week?
See, those 2 teams play each other tough, though. And I know it don't matter because we're talking about the 0-11 Cincinnati Bengals, and they haven't really played each other since 2016. But they always play close. Always play tight.
What about Tom Brady at 11-3 versus Houston?
I know you're talking the number 7 offense with Houston.
Against the 3rd worst passing defense.
3rd worst passing defense, 2nd best defense in the league, period, though, with total yards allowed per game. Which kind of makes me a little bit leery of that game. And again, it's a Sunday night game. And you know how I feel about them night games.
But it's a primetime game, and Brady always shows up at the primetime games. When he's got all the eyeballs.
I mean, Brady over the last couple of weeks, though, is not, over the season, is just not giving you the fantasy numbers that makes him worthy of even an 11,300 for him. That's what he gave you last week in fantasy points, 11-3.
Uh-huh.
The week before that, 8.5. He hasn't had a 20-plus fantasy point game since week 6 with the Giants. I mean, even in a blowout against the Jets where they put up 33 and the Jets bageled, he put up 13 points.
Yeah. But again, you're also speaking a narrative of the reasons not to play him, but all those reasons not to play him are also reasons to play him. No one's going to be on him.
Yeah, but the points aren't there. That's the problem. You're right. No one's on him, so you can save and go higher elsewhere. I get it.
I mean, the proof's going to be in the pudding when we start building a lineup here and see what we actually have.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I said, it's Lamar Jackson. I'm taking the 30 points. The guy's been phenomenal. He's got legs of steel right now. I mean, he's running for what? 100 yards every game? 80 yards every game?
I don't know.
With 6 touchdowns this year?
I don't know. You're going to really have to convince me into that one when it comes to lineup building time.
And that's quite okay. Like I said, he's staying in my lineup.
All right, why don't we move over to running backs here? Backs that are in good spots. Le'Veon Bell should be on the board for sure.
Le'Veon's definitely somebody to talk about.
Does Saquon Barkley have a bounce-back game against Green Bay? Josh Jacobs versus KC, are they even going to have an opportunity to run the ball, or are they going to be playing from behind so terribly? He's not a pass-catching back. Aaron Jones at 12-7 versus the Giants?
That might not be a bad play. It's just he's been so up and down all season that you don't know if you can really get behind his performance.
No, I don't disagree with that at all.
You know, I mean, it's the same thing with Philip Lindsay down at 10-5. Everybody screams and raves, and oh, I know, but you've been lackluster in the last, 6 games. I don't know if that's game script for them or they're just, what's his attempts been? 10 plus every game. At this point of the season, as it starts to get colder and colder, the running starts.
It's an interesting play that I don't know how many people might be on, but he is showing up in some of the optos that I've run. Jonathan Williams for Indy going up against Tennessee. I don't know how much I like it because Tennessee's run defense has been quite good this season. He's 10K.
Yeah, and he's getting the ball. We talked about that last week too.
Well, he is. Marlon Mack is ruled out. He's been named the starter.
Yeah, for week 14 with Mack's hand.
Yep.
And he had a great game last week, obviously, with Mack out 26 for 104 with a touchdown. A couple of backfield catches for positive yardage.
Would you go back to the well on Miles Sanders at 10-1?
I think I would rather go with Jonathan Williams at that point. I think you're going to get better share of the ball. And
Miles Sanders going up against Miami. Williams is going up against Tennessee. Again, this all boils down to what Carson Wentz shows up to.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the Jonathan Williams play. I'm liking Derrick Henry this week again also.
He's questionable.
Yes. Limited at practice.
But he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's just so deceivingly fast. It's unreal. For such a big dude, that man's got motor. He's got a motor and a half.
And they really don't have backups to him. Dion Lewis, Kyrie, Blasingame. They're pretty much hand-tied without Henry, and I think he plays that game. We'll find out more, obviously, but I've got him penciled in right now. Wide receivers are wide open, too, here this week.
Yeah, wide receivers are. I think you have some definite must plays. I think Devontae Adams is a must play. Going up against the Giants.
Yeah, that could be a huge game for him. Although they don't seem to be really working him much into an offense as of late, but he still puts up the numbers.
Well, he's coming back from turf toe too, so
yeah.
But I think this is a good spot for him.
He's getting his 7 touches every week or 7 receptions.
Tyler Boyd with the Red Rocket back going up against the Jets could be in a good spot.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you have a lot of premier games, a lot of premier teams that played Thursday that are not on the schedule for Sunday. You have no Saints, no Cowboys.
True.
No Bears, no Lions. No Lions, no Tigers, no Bears. Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. I think Edelman's a good play against Houston.
Edelman seems to be the star receiver there, period.
Always has been. I don't know how I feel about Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. I don't know which way to go. I don't know if I want to pay for them. I think if you're going to go anywhere, you got to pay up for Tyreek Hill at 15.9. If you're not going to go after CMC, you might want to go after Tyreek Hill. He's practiced this week. He's a full participant.
Yeah.
Going against Oakland, who just got thrashed. I mean, he is like an integral part of that offense. Stack him, stack Kelsey, or stack him, stack Mahomes, and punt everything else. I don't care. I think you could work yourself a decent lineup. Cooper Kupp going against Arizona could be a good play.
Could be. One would hope so. All right, the guy's done what? 800 and almost 900 yards this year, 80 yards a game, 5 touchdowns. But he's been all over the place.
Yeah, and again, you're also talking 13-3 for him.
Right.
I mean, look at
DJ
Moore at 13.9. You see more value there?
DJ Moore is in my lineup. You say Devontae Adams is a must-play. I feel DJ Moore is a must-play. I think his performance over the last 4 weeks shows that he can catch the ball again. He's not dropping them. He can catch. And he's being used as a integral part of what's left of that offense. Last week, 126, 2 touchdowns against the Saints, okay? Against Atlanta, 8 receptions for 95. Green Bay, 9 for 120. Tennessee, 7 for 101. Now, there's a couple good teams in that mix, and there's a couple crappy teams in that mix. Who are they facing this week? A crappy team. I personally think DJ Moore is a must-play.
I'm not going to argue with you. I like the other DJ too. I like Baby Shark.
At 12-3, yeah.
If you pivot off of the Devontae Adams play, or you have the money to pay up, or you end up paying down at running back, I think DJ Shark is in a very good spot against Tampa Bay. And at this point, I don't see Foles doing anything but slinging the ball. They can't stop anyone. They're going to be throwing that whole entire game. Even though last week they were behind by a ton of points and they were running Leonard Fournette into the end zone like every opportunity they had. So Fournette last week doubled the amount of touchdowns he had in one game all season.
Yeah, I don't mind Chalk this week.
I mean, if you don't want to pay up for Chalk, Chris Connolly's a decent play. D.D. Westbrook.
The only problem I have with Chalk is the way Foles spreads that ball around. We saw it last week, too. I mean, he was only targeted 6 times after being targeted the week before, 13, 14? I mean, granted, he only reeled in 8 for 103 or 104 with 2 touchdowns. He's had his off weeks. Last week was a bit of an off week. Against Houston, it was an off week. You go back to the New Orleans game in I guess that was, September? That low-scoring 13-6. He only had 3 for 43. Chalk is, streaky. Streaky.
Yeah, he's streaky. I don't disagree with that. Tight end matchups this week. I think there's a couple places that you can go. You can pay up and go to Kelsey over Oakland. You can go the other side of that ball and save yourself $3,200 and take Waller against KC. I think you can go down to Goddard.
Yeah.
Even Ertz. I mean, if you don't want to spend all the way, I mean, if I'm spending 13.1 for Ertz, I'm going to spend 13.6 for Kelsey. The only way I'm going to land on Ertz is going to be, I need that $500 elsewhere.
And see, yeah, I think the pay down, if you're up there looking at the George Kittle and the Travis Kelce and the Zach Ertz, I think you get your same value this week for about $2 to $3 grand cheaper.
Hunter Henry.
Yep. That's who I'm targeting in my lineup this week is Hunter Henry.
I'm trying to see where the value is this week.
Yeah, it's
Juno Smith against Indy, maybe. I just don't utilize him that way. Jack Doyle on the opposite side of the ball might be a good play. There's no Eric Ebron anymore.
No,
for the season.
For the season, yeah. Trust
me.
So
that opens up a lot of targets for Doyle. I think Doyle might be a for 6,400. There's the salary relief I'm looking for.
And not for anything. The name keeps popping up week over week, and I kind of like it again this week, and that's O.J. Howard.
What about Noah Fant?
I rode that for a couple of weeks here. I don't know if it's there this week. I mean, it wasn't there last week either, right? What did he do last week? 4 points?
4-4. 5 targets, 3 receptions, 14 yards.
The problem there is it's the Broncos.
And they're going against
the Chargers.
Division game.
Yeah. And even though both teams are trash, I just don't know if he's going to have that Week 9 against Cleveland performance.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
And not that you want that. I mean, you could take the Week 4 performance where he put up 11. It'd be great if he put up 23. If you're looking to save some money and go value at tight end, maybe Ryan Griffith might be a better shot. The Jets-Cincy game.
8,500.
Yeah, it just
one thing Cincy does fairly well though is defend tight end.
True.
Delaney Walker was sent to the IR today too, which opens up everything for Geno Smith against Indy.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I think your value plays are Geno Smith, Doyle. I'll buy into your mid-range of Ryan Griffin.
I think it's a smart move. See, the whole thing with Tennessee, though, in the Delaney Walker situation is they really don't use tight ends. I mean, what did the guy have all season long? 25? 25 receptions. Now, I don't know how many targets that was, but it's 25. It's like 3 per game. They just don't seem to utilize that tight end. It's more of a blocking back position. And when you're trying to come up with a lineup and looking for that, especially in a tight end, that 12 to 15 points that puts you at the top.
Well, remember, historically, we've always kind of relied on punting tight end or running 2 tight end sets of 2 high upside guys and stuff like that. Like saving our money at tight end to get your, obviously he's not in the slate, but your can't guard Mikes, your Godwins, even the weeks that we're trying to fit McCaffrey in because, I mean, are we not smart for not trying to figure out how to get McCaffrey in against Washington? Are we really just being oh, you're $19,700. We don't even want to try and figure out how to save money with you. We're not going to play
you. There'll be plenty.
Think about the amount of points he could put 30, 40 up, no problem against the Redskins.
Yeah, but you're paying.
You're paying a handsome ransom, yeah, but are you getting your value for that handsome ransom?
It really depends on where you're smart enough to go to accumulate back some of those points, because when you're talking about the likes of McCaffrey this week and last week, you're paying the salary of 2 people for him, basically. What are we sitting at? $100,000 salary, that's $11,101 a head, and he's almost $20,000. So it's 2 people's salary you're paying there to get, like he said this week, okay, he's going to get you those, it's historically 30 points, So you go with someone else that's going
to... Here, work with me for a second here, all right? Here's a lineup that I just kind of noodled together, and it's literally, there's no stack in here. It's a complete, total, naked, straight-up lineup.
Right.
Mahomes, Jonathan Williams, Miles Sanders, Robbie Anderson, Tyler Boyd, Jack Doyle, Devontae Adams, Christian McCaffrey, Browns defense. 500 on the table.
It's not bad.
I mean, granted, I have nothing in there for stacking Mahomes with anyone. I mean, it's a lot of value mid-range guys, and I'm paying up for Adams, Mahomes, and McCaffrey. I'm punting at tight end and low mid-range in Robbie Anderson. And I'm literally punting the other two running back positions, and I'm calling 10 grand running backs punting, which is kind of asinine.
It's not bad. It's not bad. How about... I don't know. I mean, the Robbie Anderson, I like him, but I don't like him.
I mean, I could even swap out... I might have enough money to swap out Miles Sanders for Kareem Hunt against Pittsburgh. I don't think the matchup's there, though. I think it's a bad matchup. I think Pittsburgh's defense is just too solid to trust Cleveland this week.
I don't disagree with you. I don't know. I'm looking at a lot of different things. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Williams, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Henry Hunter, Jamal Williams.
I like the Williams play this week, coming off of Aaron Jones and going the other way to Williams. I actually thought about that myself.
You know, and okay, defense, Kansas City at Oakland. That leaves me with $9,100 for a flex spot.
9,100?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams, who just has not shown up at all this year.
Nope.
David Johnson, bro.
It hasn't shown up in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, but he's not on anybody's radar. It's they're coming off a bye. He's got to be healthier. I mean, it's him and Kenyon Drake. I mean, he doesn't have a questionable tag. He's healthy.
Where's Chase
He's
Edmonds?
got to be hurt.
But he could be healthy.
Cardinals. Running backs. Chase Edmonds, questionable. Hamstring was limited at Wednesday's walkthrough. I mean, I'm just saying, you want to throw a dart at 9,100, who can you pivot to? If you don't like him, who can you pivot to at 9,100?
The problem with David Johnson is they seem to have forgotten who he is, and Kenyon Drake is the man.
Which is scary as hell, considering Kenyon Drake was nobody.
Miami's Drakes, yeah.
I mean, you got David Johnson at that price range. You got Malcolm Brown for the Rams. Other side of that game. You already got Jamal Williams in there. You got Chris Connolly at 8,800. I mean, that might not be a bad play.
Against the Jacksonville game? Is that no gets versus Tampa?
Against Tampa Bay.
What's his game log at? Okay.
All right. Well, we've run down everything. Why don't we attempt to build a lineup here and see if we can agree on anything? Because so far we've agreed on almost nothing.
Well, no, we've got some people that were eyeing the same.
All right. So you went with Lamar in your personal lineup. I say we don't do Lamar in this lineup. I say we either go Mahomes, Rodgers.
Oh. Where the hell is the slate on this? Why am I
How about Winston?
Slate is just 16 games here. What's the deal?
Here's a line for you. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Jacobs, Jamal Williams, Devontae Adams, OBJ, DJ Chark, Travis Kelce, Panthers D. Other flex spot is Jack Doyle.
Say that again.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs. Jamal Williams. Devontae Adams. Odell. Baby Shark. Travis Kelce. Jack Doyle. Panthers D.
That's interesting.
I'm just running naked optimizers right now. Jameis Winston, Josh Jacobs, Mark Ingram, Devontae Adams, Odell Beckham, DJ Chark, Travis Kelce, Tyler Higbee, Panthers D. Gerald Everett is questionable, which looks like Higbee is going to be the tight end facing Arizona. Going back to the narrative of always play the tight end against Arizona. I don't really like the Josh Jacobs play. I mean, I guess I should, but I don't.
It's very interesting that I can't pick a Sunday-only slate.
On what? Fantasy Draft?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in it right now.
Select a slate. 3 p.m. Three games for the 20 December 1st, 12 games. There it is. Okay. No. It's not December 1st, is it?
Yeah, December 1st.
Oh, okay. 12 games.
Sunday only.
Get confused with the Thursday. Yeah. All right, so you really like Aaron Rodgers.
Going against the Giants, you don't?
Yeah, I know. It's the whole thing of him only giving me the one passing touchdown, and they run for 3, which seems to be exactly what's happening with Aaron Rodgers in the last 3 games.
Pay up for Mahomes?
His passer rating is in the shitter.
Or pay down for Winston at $12,000.
Well, let's put Rodgers in there and see where that goes.
All right, running backs.
What are you thinking?
Lev Bell.
All right.
Against Cincy. And going down and getting that...
Jonathan Williams?
Jonathan Williams, yeah. Wide receiver, do the stack with Adams.
Must play.
And you feel DJ Moore is a must play.
I really do. I mean, I could be wrong, but if
that's leaving us 88.50 ahead for tight end, flex, and defense. Let's go take a look at defenses. Redskins against Carolina, 4,900.
I like Kansas City at 56. Against Oakland, 32 sacks, 10 interceptions.
What about Tennessee at Indy? No, that's counterproductive to what we're trying to do here.
I don't really buy into that theory. I mean, Washington has been able to sack and intercept. There's no doubt about that. their problem is they're just giving up massive yardage. I mean, last week they were great with 21 points, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions against Detroit.
How about Chargers versus Denver?
If you're gonna pay up that high, I'd rather go Kansas City.
All right, KC it is.
I mean, again, this could shift, but
9,933 a player. Tight end, where do you want to go?
Well, now's where the conversation starts.
I threw out your value. Jack Doyle and Jonnu Smith. You threw back at me a mid-range guy, of Ryan Griffin. At the top, you seem to like Henry.
I also, but in this situation now, we'll be punting in flexes. So in my opinion, to grab value that has been there for the last, 2 or 3 weeks now, at least 2 weeks, looking for that 11 to 15, 10 to 15 points. What about Evan Ingram?
Is he playing? It's questionable.
It's been working out. I mean, unless you believe that game's going to be Caden Smith. I mean, I know he hasn't played since week 9?
I'd rather say, if we're going to go there, I'd rather save the money and go to Griffin.
Okay.
Against Cincy.
Okay. I can buy that. I like that pick.
All right, so that gives us 10, 6.5 for our 2 flex spots.
Oof. It doesn't leave much meat on the table now, does it?
10-6 puts us in Sammy Watkins, Devontae Parker, Tyler Williams, Jamison Crowder.
Not going down that boat again.
Terry McLaurin, Philip Lindsay, Kenyon Drake, Darren Waller, Dede Westbrook. How about how do you feel strongly about Jamal Williams at 8,800? That would open up some flexibility. Or were you just putting him in because he fit value-wise?
No, I kind of like the play. Where is he?
8,800.
I like the play against the Giants. I think he could see a sizable amount of... if he has any performance like he had last week. Okay, so he couldn't move the ball that well against San Fran.
But he did it with
But
PPR.
He did it, right, he did it out of the backfield, the PPR, at 7 receptions for 35.
So here's interesting. So that leaves 12.5 on the table. At 12.3, we have the choice of Gurley.
Hold on a second. Let me throw him in there. I lost him. Where is he?
8,800.
Williams, right? No. Jamal Williams. I like Joe Mixon in that Jets Cincy game also.
I don't like any running back against the Jets after what they did to
I know.
Spawn.
I know it's tough. But okay, so that leaves us with 12-5.
DJ Chark, Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Manny Sanders, Eckler, Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton, Christian Kirk.
Sanders is questionable, right?
Yeah. Odell's 12-6, just shy of him.
They're going to cap rep him, I think. Sanders isn't 100% healthy to... I mean, I know he played through it last week.
He's still dealing with those ribs.
Yeah, and I know he played through it last week and played a healthy amount of snaps, but didn't see much action. Gurley move. I mean, he hasn't been productive all year when you really look at it. What's his numbers this year? He's got 135 rushing attempts for 547 yards. And since Melvin's been back, against the Broncos, the Melvin Gordon play might be a good one. Might be the best. Unless you believe.
What about Gurley?
I don't like the production there. I mean, I get it. 7 touchdowns, okay. I mean, but
are they going to be able to move the ball enough
against Arizona
to get him the opportunities in the red zone? Or are they going to wake up and go, oh, it's Arizona, maybe we should just run Gurley, our season's over anyway?
Yeah, I guess it really depends. If they come out and they're ahead in that game, then it's Gurley all day long. If they fall behind like they did last week, they abandon the run.
Well, you have no choice.
I mean, they never caught up last week anyway because they ran into a team that could be going to the Super Bowl. You know, but against Pittsburgh, he did nothing. Against Cincy, he touched the ball 10 times and did nothing with it.
Against Chicago, 25...
For 97.
For 97, 1 rushing touchdown, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 36 yards for 21-3.
Season high snaps. I mean, we can do it. I'm not sold on it.
You tell me, Gordon or Gurley?
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I mean... Then you're sitting there with Austin Eckler.
I think Eckler is an afterthought at this point.
Like I said, if he does anything like he did last week in that loss, I mean, they used him as a pass.
Use him out of the flat, yeah.
Yeah, and he put on a clinic against Kansas City. He was 8 for 103, 8 for 108. Every time they use him out of the backfield.
My problem with the Charger Denver game, with it being in Denver, is the over-under for this game is 48.5. No, 38.5. Not a lot of points expected to be scored in this game.
You sold on Gurley?
Not really, but I mean, I'm looking at what we have in front of us, and I'm looking at like over-unders and team totals for, the LA Arizona game is 47.5 implied over-under. Team total of Rams 25.25, Arizona 22.25 for implied team totals. I mean, Gurley.
I'm just looking and playing here.
Floor of 6, ceiling of 30. I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at. 18 points.
The 18's not bad. I mean, I just keep looking at Eckler, who's putting up 20 points a week.
Going a mile high, though, is it going to be cold and snowy? I mean, these are all things we need to...
No.
We need to take those into effect, too. Gurley's playing in Arizona. In a dome.
I just think with Mike Williams still hurt, possibly not playing again, they're going to have to use him more out of the slot. I don't know. This is a tough one because I seem to just really be stuck on Austin Eckler. And now I'm looking going, well, if we do slide him in, where can we pull out and buy back up.
So Eckler, that leaves us 600. If we come off the Chiefs, that puts us at
6,200.
Which gets us the Jets at 6,300, the Colts at $6,000, Chargers at $6,000.
There's really no other place to pivot.
Unless you want to go up from Le'Veon Bell, and to go up from Bell at 14.5, Nick Chubb not in a good spot, and the next thing up is McCaffrey.
You can't touch McCaffrey because he's 19.
Not unless we're seriously punting, going down to like Miles Sanders or even below that.
And the Raiders' defense.
I mean, we could come off of Lev Bell. I could put back in. If I put KC back in and come off of Bell, that gives us 15,100. I could go to
Nick Chubb.
Saquon. I go to Saquon. I can go to Chubb. We can come down and go to Josh Jacobs, which means we could go up from either Jamal Williams or Jonathan Williams.
I don't see Fournette having the big game he had last time. I see him coming back down to earth at 14 points.
I mean, Saquon?
Saquon's a bust. I'd rather bank my money on Nick Chubb than.
Josh Jacobs versus Oakland?
I mean, Saquon Barkley's got 461 yards rushing for the year. Nick Chubb playing for the shittiest team in the league has 1,100. And he carries the ball 20-plus times a game. Period. I mean, I know that didn't help in the Pittsburgh game where he carried 27.
Here's something crazy.
For 92.
So if I throw in Josh Jacobs, right, $13,000, that would give us 2,100 on the table. Pull out Jonathan Williams, so now we're at 12,100. The only other player that fits in at $12,000 as a running back, Melvin Gordon. 200. We would have to come off of Kansas City's defense, and we could fit in Gurley. And then we would have a running back core of Austin Eckler, Jamal Williams, Josh Jacobs, and Todd Gurley. And whatever defense is 5,400 or below. Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Jacksonville at 5,200.
I'd be tempted to take Washington then.
Against Carolina?
Over Tampa Bay. Yeah, I think they're going to be able to sack that quarterback. And if not,
I mean, that's just the way we can go. Or we can just stay put and go with Lev Bell.
I mean, Bell is in a good position. Josh Jacobs.
In a good spot, too, against Kansas City.
How hurt is he?
That narrative boils down to, are they going to be behind or not?
Yeah, I guess the other question is how's that knee? You know, the knee definitely limited him over the last. Well, in the last game, for sure, against the Jets.
They didn't have a tag, so...
Yeah, but they also went out and picked up another running back as insurance. I mean, I get it. They pulled him out of the game last week, too. I don't know. What do you got over there? You got Jonathan Williams up there.
Jamal Williams.
Jonathan Williams is a running back, along with Lev Bell. Kind of like the Lev Bell play.
Yeah, I like I'm okay with this lineup. I have a question mark with Eckler, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the question is, do we want to leave 600 on the table, or do we want to move up?
That's where I'm trying to figure out where to move up.
Jamal Williams at 8,800. We can move up to Matt Breida, who's not playing. Sony Michel, no thank you. David Johnson, no thank you. Malcolm Brown, no thank you. Oh, flex. 9,100. Mike Williams, no thank you.
I don't have a problem about moving away from Jamal.
If we're moving away from Jamal, I want to see if we can fit in Jones then. I want a piece of that run game. If we're going to stack Rodgers Adams, I want a piece of that pass catching back game. Well, so it's either Jamal Williams or Aaron Jones, and we figure out how to make that work, or...
What's Jones at? Look, Jamal Williams got more time last week because they took Jones out of the game.
12,000.
So 12, and if that's 94. That means you're punting defense now.
Yep. Big time punting defense. I don't even know if we can make it work.
No, you can't make it work.
He's 12-7.
Can't
so
make
to
it
go
work.
3,900 is the Raiders.
Yep.
And that's only saving us 1,700. You're not getting there.
Nope. You're not getting there.
I mean, you get there if we take out... All right, so if we take out Williams and we take out Williams, remove the Williams, 2 Williams, and we go in and we take Aaron Jones, that leaves us 6,700.
I don't think I want to pull Jonathan Williams out of there, who's definitely going to be the lead back, to go with a team that's going to be a split back.
Agreed.
I think that's foolish. And I like the Jonathan Williams play. I mean, I'm up in the air on Le'Veon Bell. I like the position against Cincinnati.
So what if we go off Bell?
Trying to figure out how to move up on a tight end, too.
So we go off Bell. Hold on, let me see here. Bell to Jones, that saves us money. Tight end, you like Hunter Henry. So if we go off Griffin,
11-5.
Henry, that leaves us 8,200 for second flex spot. Who's in that price range? N'Keal Harry, who scored a touchdown last week. Royce Freeman, Darrell Henderson. No, we can't afford that. N'Keal Harry, Gus Edwards, Dallas Goedert, Greg Ward, Gio Bernard, Jacoby Myers. Who?
Right.
Chris Thompson. MVS, Jalen Richard, Greg Olson, Alex Erickson, Bilal Powell.
You're talking $8,200. It's not a lot to work with anything here.
Not even any wide receivers that are worth anything down there.
Nope.
I mean, outside of N'Keal Harry. Seems to be a target. He's the only one who scored a touchdown in that game last Sunday.
I mean, Greg Olson is your only guy down there who's going to give you...
look at N'Keal Harry.
What's his price point?
8,200.
2. N'Keal Harry.
Only played 2 games. He's a rookie.
I know, and he plays for New England.
Yep. And Dorsett's injured.
And that's why it's the Mohamed Sanu Julian Edelman's show.
Edelman's questionable. Or Sanu's questionable.
Ankle injury. Dorsett's question. Well, Dorsett's out. Concussion.
So, I mean, he could be a viable play.
Edelman's got a hurt shoulder.
He's the only healthy wide receiver.
You know, it could be the Ben Watson, Matt LaCrosse show there. I don't trust that team. You know I don't trust that team. It's much like I don't trust anybody coming out of the Saints besides Thomas. Because at least you know he's going to get thrown the ball 25 times.
How about Dallas Goedert? 8,100.
I don't mind that in the Philly-Miami game. I mean, he did have a good week last week, 7 for 8. Just no yardage on it. You know, whereas in prior weeks, he's, 12 yards, 9, 10 yards, 17. And it is Miami. That game could be all over the field. Could be thrown to everyone.
Or we could just punt it and go down and get Tyler Higbee.
Where's Higbee at? So then I'd rather go Greg Olsen.
Can we afford him?
Where's Higbee?
$5,000. Min price.
In price, we got 8,200 left.
Uh-huh.
And then who do you want to move up from?
Oh, that gives us a whole wealth of places we could go. We could go up from DJ Moore and go get all right, hold on a second. Higbee. And we could go up from DJ Moore and go get ourselves, I'm pretty sure we can get Tyreek Hill at 15.9. Tyreek Hill at 15.9. That gives us 14.1, just shy of Mahomes. We could get your Lamar Jackson if we want to go up from Roger. We could actually go get Mahomes. We'd have to come off KC's defense. Or we could go up from Henry and get No, we can't go up from Henry. We could go up from Eckler.
I don't know if Higbee's really a fantasy option here.
Well, what's the story with Everett? Because if Everett's out, Higbee's the tight end.
Unparticipated.
And it's against Arizona.
It's considered day-to-day. Higbee's 5 receptions last week were a season high.
Because Everett went out hurt.
It's 10 receptions for 58 yards through 5 games. I don't know if I like that. I mean, I think we're better off on the other side accumulating more points than to
off of Tyreek Hill? Going back to DJ Moore?
More tight end. I mean, I got Hunter Helms in the flex. Austin Eckler. And who did we have over Higbee? In
Before?
The flex. Yeah.
We had the kid from the Jets, Ryan Griffin.
Right, at 80-something hundred, right? I like that play better. I just think you're going to get more points out of it.
What, Griffin?
Yeah. Even if he doesn't score a touchdown. You're going to get much more out of him than you are Higbee. I mean, unless they don't use him at all and it's a bagel. But either way, you're going to get more point production. And the money you're looking to save moves you up to who? Tyreek Hill? And does that help?
Tyreek Hill against
Oakland? I know it is a good matchup.
Guaranteed points versus a flex of Ryan Griffin. Because we took Ryan Griffin out and put in Henry. We came off Jamal Williams and put in Aaron Jones.
Do we trust that Hill's going to be productive coming off the injury?
That's the question. I mean, we have 13-6. At 13-3, we have Cooper Kupp against Arizona. Odell versus Pittsburgh. DJ Chark at 12-3. Like, our options are minimal. If we go back to DJ Moore, that leaves a ton of money on the table.
Yeah, and I think Odell's week was last week. I said it.
Oh, wait, no. DJ Moore's 13-9. We're actually 300 shy. So that doesn't fit Griffin at 8,200. We're back at where we were at 8,200 of nobody of value. You know, if we take out Eckler, that leaves us $10,000 to split between two. $10.50 to split between two positions.
And that's flex, so we can move up to the 9,000s. And what do we got?
So you got Carlos Hyde, you got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders at 10-1, which would leave us $10,000, which puts us in the neighborhood of Robert Woods, Mark Andrews, Larry Fitzgerald, Robbie Anderson, Benny Snell Jr.
Oh, Snell Jr. I know it's a good matchup, but...
And then we just start bleeding money like it's our job. Joe Mixon 10-2.
And that means coming off a defense.
Yep.
You get that 200.
I mean, Miles Samuels puts us at $10,000 for the last flex spot. Unless like something higher in terms of a Deebo Samuels or D.D. Westbrook at 10-4, then we got to come off the defense. Tyler Boyd against the Jets at 10-4. Kenyon Drake against the L.A. Rams.
I really don't mind. Yeah, I know you don't like the Joe Mixon play, but I kind of do.
So Mixon, and we need to go down 5,400. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cincinnati Bengals, Washington Redskins. We go with the Redskins. We're leaving 500 on the table.
And I take Mixon back out, and what am I available with? 10-7 on the table. Which keeps us the same place. Sterling Shepard, joy. I don't mind that.
Well, Redskins do?
Yeah. I told you, I kind of like that defense against Carolina.
And then you said Mixon?
No, I was just looking now to see what do we got, 10-7?
Yeah.
What do you like
Boyd. I like Boyd's spot.
Sammy Watkins, Devontae Parker, Tyler Jameson.
Oh, Devontae Parker against Philly? Sammy Watkins against KC? Get at least part of that passing offense? How do you feel about that?
Opens up for sure.
Watkins or Parker? Watkins, Parker, or Boyd?
I like Watkins, believe it. I mean, Raiders give up 260-plus yards in the air.
Oh, fucking it is.
And you got to throw out Watkins' game last week with that shit field in Mexico. Remember last year they didn't want to play there and they moved the game?
Mm-hmm. All right, so the lineup is Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Williams, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Hunter Henry, Miles Sanders, Sammy Watkins, Redskins defense. I like it.
Yeah, I so do I. I'm going to put it up against mine, and
I'll build one of my own too.
I'll put it up against mine, and we'll see how that works.
Submit, confirm entry. All right, what do you got sports betting wise, so we can get out of here?
Yep, hang on. I just got to. You know what? I've been away for that long. Got to log back in. Sorry. I believe. I'm running with a 5-team parlay. Last week's parlay was busted by one game. It's one leg of a parlay. Money back? Of course I did. That's what that parlay insurance is all about. Oh, God, it's not logging me in here. There we go. Location confirmed. This week... How is that an unsettled bet? Thank you. I'm going with a 5-team parlay. Going to take the Washington Redskins. I know it's a long shot. Going to take the Redskins over the Panthers. Going to take the Eagles over the Miami Dolphins. The Kansas City Chiefs over the Oakland Raiders. The Green Bay Packers over the New York Giants. And the Jets over the Bengals. All on the money line. Lock it in.
What about games you like straight up?
See, now there's some interesting games. I like I even like the Redskins with the points. Hold on, let me get back to that page. There are quite a few games that I think you can make some money at. The Dallas Buffalo game. Sorry, that's Thursday. We already talked about that earlier. The Browns-Steelers game, Steelers are getting 2. The Steelers are getting 2 in that game. It's interesting. I mean, I can understand the position. Cleveland kind of looking good again, but Steelers, 2. I'm taking that. I like the Titans over the Colts. I know it's not the best position, but I like that. And I can see the Ravens beating the Niners. And with the Ravens given 6, be interesting to see if that line moves. I have a small piece of that game with the Ravens. I also have the over on that game at over 47.
The Ravens are part of your parlay?
No, they're a straight up bet.
Okay.
Taking the Ravens straight up. Actually, given the 6 points and taking the over on that game. I really believe the Ravens have a shot at beating the Niners and taking them down a notch. That's all I really like. I mean, Kansas City straight up, obviously. They're playing Oakland. Anybody in my parlay you could pull out and play straight up. If you want a piece of that Monday night game, there's some money to be made there. It's a tough game, though. Minnesota and Seattle. To me, it's a pick 'em, even though it's a 3-point game. That's my opinion. That's all I have.
All right, well, cool. Any parting words? Deuces? All right, this has been DFS Fantasy Foreplay for Week 13. Good luck, everyone. Go out there, win some cash. And if you win, let us know. Later.